Why the era of cheap streaming is over.
Late last year, I got an email. It said that the price of my Disney Plus annual plan was increasing to $140.
Dang.
That wasn't the only one. Netflix was going up, and their most affordable tier would now have ads. Amazon Prime would be $3.
What?
TV went from $6.99 to $9.18 a month. There are so many great things to watch, and they're all spread across so many different services. I want to watch them all, but man, does it hurt to fork up so much money every month to do it.
Facts. Everybody try to be exclusive, and it's like they'll have like a Nickelodeon Plus, a Disney Plus, a Netflix, Tubi, and all of them want to get a membership for you to get the best experience on the site. So now you put up against the paywall, and if you want to watch a wide variety of shows, you're going to have to lose more money. You're going to have to struggle more. You're going to have to put more hours in at that 9 to 5. You're going to have to put up with that annoying voice a little bit, that annoying boss a little bit more, because you got to pay your little subscription that's eating from your cheese every single month. Bro, stop it. We're fed up. The people are tired.
It kind of makes you wonder, how did we all end up in this position where we're paying so much for streaming every month? And maybe more importantly, can we as consumers do any better?
And I will say, I got YouTube Premium, and it has been a premium experience. No ads. I enjoy this. Now, if the price keep going up, I don't know how useful it's going to be. But because I do reactions, I feel like it's even more of an investment. And I actually ended my Apple Music subscription because YouTube Premium come with YouTube Music. So it's low key a little benefit. I ain't gonna lie. I be listening to the music on YouTube Premium. Chapter 1, subscribers.
We first need to look at the story from the streamer's perspective. And we'll start with Netflix, the biggest, oldest streamer around. For most of its history, Netflix made money in one way: its subscribers. So if Netflix wanted to make more money, they either had to add subscribers or raise prices. This was always Netflix's strategy. As this 2021 New York Times article explains, the CEO and founder of Netflix was betting that the company could attract subscribers and raise its prices faster than the debt clock was ticking. And Netflix had taken on a lot of debt, almost $15 billion by 2020.
Dang.
For the purpose of building an entire platform's worth of content, ensuring that they weren't reliant on movies and TV that they didn't own, like The Office or Friends.
Yeah.
This strategy worked, and for a long time, Netflix grew really reliably, even as its prices went up.
They'd had very steady growth 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then the pandemic happens in 2020, and they have their best year ever.
That's Lucas Shaw, by the way.
Yeah. I feel like in terms of media in general, the pandemic was like at an all-time high. And I feel like that's the way society goes. You just never know what's going to happen, and you have to be on it every single time, bro. Whenever it's time to get into the stock market, you need to get into it immediately or early, and that's how you go get the most benefit. Same thing with like COVID. If you had an online business and you really went hard during COVID, then bro, you did numbers, bro, and you probably reaping the benefits right now. But if you didn't, then you done for it. It's crazy.
Managing editor for media and entertainment at Bloomberg News, and I'm also the author of the newsletter Screen Time. Netflix got to a point where they realized that their growth was much slower than it had been, right? Growth continues to be slower in 2021, and looking into 2022, they get nervous.
And then in 2022, Netflix actually lost subscribers.
Dang.
Just 200,000 at first, and then 1 million.
Dang.
There are only so many people in the population, right?
Facts.
You got everyone, there is a ceiling to that.
But they also knew that they had more customers than it appeared.
This phenomenon of password sharing. Netflix had said publicly that they were not worried about it, and I think early on, it's true, they were not worried about it because password sharing was a way of exposing the service to more people, and if people liked it, they would convert. But at a certain point when they hit a bit of a ceiling, they were looking at the numbers and they said the only way that we're going to be able to grow is if we convert some of those sharers into payers.
This move created a temporary surge in subscribers.
But it's going to eventually level off.
That other companies are following in these footsteps. But Netflix isn't the only trendsetter. While all this was going on, another company was carving out a slightly different path.
Chapter 2, advertising.
Hulu has always had two tiers to its service: ad-free and ad-supported. According to this 2019 article, Hulu's ad-supported option was the most lucrative tier of their business.
Facts.
It was so successful, they actually lowered the price from $7.99 to $5.99.
And you also got to think people grew up watching crazy ads. As long as the ad's not super crazy, like every 3 to 4 minutes, then you could get away with putting some ads on a movie or a show. It just can't be to the point to where like I'm watching straight ads the whole time. I don't understand why companies can't get that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Advertising has been the key to a successful video business forever. You know, you think about the cable business.
Yep.
Think about paying for discrete channels, but you are paying for a bundle of channels. And oh, by the way, those channels still have advertising. So it's not really a foreign concept. That's something that Hulu had done quite effectively.
As more streamers crowd the market with ever-increasing prices, pretty much every service, including Netflix, has introduced a more affordable ad-supported tier to their offerings, which people seem to appreciate. Ad-supported plans have been driving an increasing percentage of new signups and supplementing each company.
You give a middle ground.
But here's the thing. Most of these companies still aren't profitable.
Part of it is just they're so new. I think we lose sight of that.
This is what they say about Twitch too. They say Twitch not profitable. How y'all feel about like these services that are like a good, revenue stream? It is like good for like everybody in play, like the people who want to watch and the company. They want to pick their prices up so that they could make money. And at the exact same time, the people who supporting them, like, they can't do it. Like, it's like, how much can we possibly do? I don't know. What's the solution? That's my question.
Like, these companies spent billions and billions of dollars to launch new services and take on Netflix.
Like a logical one.
Condense, 15 years of Netflix's streaming service into 3 to 5. And that was very expensive.
So that's it, more or less. Companies fighting debt, revenue losses, subscriber losses, or a mix of those things have raised prices and added ads in hopes to become or remain profitable. But what does that mean for us as individuals?
Chapter 3, what can you do?
If you're like me and have crafted your personality around filmmaking, movies, and TV, then you might be subscribed to a bunch of streaming services indefinitely. This ain't cheap, but it's the kind of thing that you might be willing to invest in.
So hell no. It ain't worth all that.
So maybe the answer for me is to do nothing and just accept the increased monthly cost because I find value in having access to all of the streaming services. But in researching this video, I found that there is a growing group of people that have a much more strategic approach. They're called serial churners, which is just the industry way of saying that this type of consumer isn't static. They're churning or unsubscribing and resubscribing to services based around what they want to watch in a particular month.
Okay.
According to the analytics group Antenna, 1 in 5 people were serial churners in 2023. It seems like the answer for these people is that it's worth the effort to hop around. They can save money and more selectively access content on their own timeline.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, this is smart. This is like people who go into the grocery store and instead of just picking up the butter or picking up the bread, they pick a specific type of bread. And even though it may cost a little bit more right now, they go get the benefit on their life. Like, these are the more strategic people who gonna take the extra mile to get the bang for their buck. That's smart. That's smart.
A more middle ground approach might be to subscribe.
Making coffee at home instead of going to Starbucks.
Definitely, and then hop around on the other ones.
I've opened Max, Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon all within the last month, maybe within the last couple of weeks. And then Paramount Plus and Peacock, I guess, yes, I'm a churner for those. I sign on and off depending on what happens, and that's fine for me. And everyone else, their appetite is going to be different. Maybe other people only want to be permanently signed on for 2.
This approach requires some effort and strategy around your media diet, but it could be quite cost-effective in the long run. And that's one of the reasons that we switched from cable to streaming to begin with.
Facts.
The ability to choose what you pay for.
Yeah.
Streaming has changed a lot. We're in a new, weird, increasingly expensive era of it.
This is what I would like to see. How much is cable compared to getting every single streaming platform like every single year? Like, just maxing all of them out. Would it be cheaper to get cable or would it be more expensive to just get all of the streaming platforms? I don't know. But with all of the streaming platforms, no matter where you go, you can sign in and you got that added benefit too. So it's like, I don't know. What y'all think?
Maybe that means it's time we start looking at our relationship to streaming differently and start asking the question, how do you make your streaming diet work for you?
Yeah,